Now, the ABC 10 News Pinpoint Weather Super 7-Day Forecast.
And happy Friday, everyone, and happy New Year's Eve to you. I want to first showcase this live camera from Julian and show you what it looks like. Again, really quiet now, but I suspect that this weekend, this area is going to be a hot spot for a lot of visitors and residents in San Diego County. Let's go ahead and show you some of those temperatures outside. Speaking of the mountain areas, Julian waking up at 40 degrees, 43 right now in Warner Springs, and a lot of those coastal communities are pretty mild from La Jolla all the way down to Imperial Beach. Meanwhile, the more north you travel towards Escondido and Poway, we're looking at a temperature of 51 degrees. So we're waking up pretty dry this Friday, but as we zoom on out, we do have a weak disturbance just to our south that will usher in some showers. Again, we were talking about very light activity and not very widespread. Some areas might not even see an ounce of rain as we progress through your New Year's Eve day. As we transition to your coastal 7-day forecast, a lot of us will hang out in the 60s today. As we zoom on into your New Year's Eve forecast, this afternoon we'll top out in the mid to upper 50s along the coast and inland areas. And around sunset, we'll dip down to the mid 50s. And then by the overnight hours, perhaps if you're hanging out outside overnight, make sure to bundle up because a lot of us will get back into the 40s as we look ahead. Meanwhile, as we transition to your Saturday and take a look at your New Year's Day, a lot of us are going to wake up to some spotty cloud coverage looking ahead to those coastal communities. But for the most part, we're going to see dry and sunny and pleasant conditions. As far as the high temperatures go, there's not much fluctuation looking ahead to your 7 days along the coastline. We'll hang out in the low 60s. And it looks like Thursday will be the warmest day in the mid to upper 60s. Meanwhile, those overnight lows are going to get pretty brisk as we look ahead to Saturday evening through Monday. Meanwhile, inland areas, as I mentioned, we do have the chance of seeing a shower or two, especially if you're hanging out in the inland valley. So again, we'll see some on and off cloud coverage, and we might see a shower or two towards the passes in mountain areas. Again, as far as amounts go, we're talking about a trace to a few hundredths of an inch if we do see any at all. Again, mostly sunny skies for the majority of us west of the mountain areas. As we take a look ahead to your weekend forecast, we'll hang out in the low 60s, and that will be the trend for the next several days. But as we zoom on into your Thursday forecast, that's about a week from now, that's when we get to closer average temperatures. So we're forecasting a high of 70 degrees in Escondido. That's close to what we're used to seeing for this time of the year, and that'll be the trend as we progress through the end of next week. Mountain areas, again, not much dramatic activity, no snow in our forecast, but as we take a look at the mountain conditions, you do need to know that we are going to see very high winds gusting close to 50, 60 miles per hour at times, especially along the passes as the westerly winds continue to impact the desert areas and the passes throughout your Friday. And then we'll see them significantly decrease looking ahead to the weekend. Nothing but sunshine in the mountain areas, but we will be very cool. Those overnight lows dipping close to freezing. Meanwhile, deserts in the mid to upper 60s. And then we get back to the 70s by the middle of next week. Jim?
Vanessa, thank you very much. New year, new you, new promise to eat better and lose weight. But that is where it gets very easy to fall victim to a weight loss scam.